Excellence is a journey, not a destination. The modern landscape is completely diseased by the toxic myth of immediate arrival. Millions of men wander through life completely infatuated with the illusion of the quick fix, the overnight breakthrough, and the sudden windfall. They expect massive, monumental rewards for superficial, short-lived effort. They approach reality like children demanding a trophy simply for showing up at the starting line. But greatness is completely indifferent to your impatience. The universe does not deal in shortcuts, and it refuses to bend its ancient laws to satisfy your desire for comfort. Real, unvarnished power is a brutal game of endurance. It is an ongoing, lifelong process of deliberate self-sculpting that has absolutely no final rest stop. The second you view success as a fixed point where you can finally sit down and slacken your standards, you have already begun your descent back into total irrelevance. You must fall completely in love with the unglamorous mechanism of daily labor, because the true value of your life is found in the caliber of the man you become during the endless march, not the static prizes you gather along the way. Consider the absolute mechanics of physical transformation. You do not get into elite shape by putting in a furious 7 days of training in the gym. You can scream, you can sweat, and you can push your heart rate to the absolute limit for a week. But when you stand in front of the mirror on the 8th morning, your physical form will look exactly the same. The human body is a heavy, stubborn organism that requires an extended, relentless tax of consistency before it ever alters its biology. True physical dominance is only forged when you stack 3 months, 6 months, a year of uninterrupted compliance to a brutal training plan and a pristine, uncompromised nutrition regimen. It is the invisible, repetitive choices that define your progress. It is choosing the clean fuel when your tongue is screaming for cheap sugars. It is dragging your sore, depleted frame onto the black mats when you are completely exhausted and nobody is watching to give you a round of applause. You are systematically teaching your physical vessel that its feelings are completely irrelevant to its duties. This exact same mathematical law governs your financial destiny. You do not print generational wealth on your very first amateur attempt to launch a side hustle. The market is a ruthless, unforgiving coliseum that strips away the weak, the uncalibrated, and the easily discouraged. When you step into the economic arena, your initial ideas will fail, your marketing will tank, your partnerships will splinter, and you will likely lose your capital. You might fail 999 times, facing a continuous agonizing wall of rejection and defeat, while the crowd around you laughs and whispers that you are taking things too seriously. But the Titan does not look at a setback as a terminal destination. He views it as a mandatory tuition payment in the Academy of Mastery. You dust the dirt off your hands, analyze your blind spots with cold objectivity, and attack the problem all over again. It is that 1000th attempt, the one executed with absolute precision, born from the raw wisdom of your past scars, that finally strikes the vein of gold. True financial sovereignty belongs exclusively to the man who can outlast the friction of his own ignorance. Excellence is the unyielding act of sticking completely to your faith and your principles when the sky falls and everything around you turns completely dark. It is easy to beat your chest and talk about high standards when your bank account is full, your relationships are smooth, and your body feels perfectly energized. Anyone can play the role of a disciplined master when the sun is shining. The real audit of your character happens when you are stripped bare by a crisis, when you are hit by unexpected betrayal, financial devastation, or systemic failure. In those heavy hours of absolute isolation, when your lower self is begging you to throw in the towel and surrender to despair, your commitment to your highest self must remain entirely non-negotiable. You stand like an iron pillar in the midst of a howling hurricane, keeping your eyes locked onto your purpose and holding your ground because your word to yourself is a sacred, unbreakable law. Look closely at how the modern rat race attempts to break your sovereignty before your day has even begun. The average person treats their morning routine like a casual option that they can adjust based on their mood. They might manage to wake up early for a single week when they are feeling a fleeting spark of motivation. But the moment the novelty fades and the cold rain starts hitting the windows, they instantly negotiate with the mattress and slide back into sleep. To become an unstoppable force, your early wake-up cannot be a temporary challenge. It must be a lifelong blueprint that you execute for the rest of your existence without a single missed day. When that alarm breaks the silence of the morning, you hit the floor automatically, like a soldier reacting to an active ambush. You do not let your primitive, comfort-seeking brain ask if it feels rested. You master the morning, because those quiet, dark hours before the world stirs are the pristine laboratory where you construct your mind and body into an absolute weapon. You must recognize that your everyday thoughts are the literal blueprints of your physical reality. You cannot build a life of immense power and freedom if your mind is a chaotic garbage dump of cheap entertainment, trivial gossip, and constant digital distractions. Your attention is the most valuable currency you possess, and you must guard it with a savage, unrelenting intensity. If you finish your daily work shift and instantly surrender your remaining cognitive energy to staring at sports matches or binging fictional dramas on a screen, you are actively choosing to remain a spectator in another man's empire. Break those digital chains immediately. Take those extra hours in the evening, seal your door, and invest your mind entirely into building your own independent infrastructure. You become what you think about all day long, and if you are completely obsessed with a vision of greatness, you have absolutely zero room in your life for transient amusements. The passing of time demands constant, unvarnished proof of your internal alignment. True status cannot be fake, bought, or inherited. It is the density of your presence, and it is forged entirely in the dark through thousands of invisible, grueling repetitions. When a man has completely conquered his inner coward, when he has eliminated the cheap vices and mastered his base impulses, his biology changes. His internal fire burns clean and hot. The people around him can instantly sense the unshakable weight of his aura long before he ever opens his mouth to speak. If you are still hiding secret vices when nobody is looking, that weakness will leak out of your pores and betray you in moments of high pressure. You must achieve a state of total internal purity where your private execution perfectly matches your public declaration. Look brutally at your current execution right now. Identify every single area where you have allowed your habits to become loose, soft, or uncalibrated because you are tired or comfortable. Burn those excuses to the ground today. There is no middle ground in this arena. You are either actively climbing toward your absolute peak, or you are sliding down into total irrelevance. Raise your baseline standards immediately. Demand more from your mind, your body, and your daily routine than anyone else could ever dare to expect from you. You are the sole author of your own epic, the absolute commander of your own fate. Lock in your focus. Silence the noise of the collective crowd. Train your mind to be completely absolute. Forge your physical form into steel, and keep your soul perfectly aligned with your highest ideal. Commit fully to the endless journey of excellence. Execute your daily directives with ruthless precision, and command your destiny until the world has no choice but to bend to your will.